This session is on the natural causes of climate change. The Earth's temperature has changed greatly over the last few 100,000 years. 10,000 years ago we were in the middle of an ice age and there were saber-toothed tigers and woolly mammoths within England. It certainly isn't like that now. So the idea of this session is to try to explain why. The first reason why temperatures have changed so drastically over hundreds and thousands of years is volcanoes. Now, volcanoes do not make the world warmer, actually the opposite, volcanoes make the world colder. This is because when a volcano erupts, it gives out huge amounts of dust, ash and sulfur dioxide. And what this means is that when the sunshine comes out, this dust, ash and sulfur dioxide actually blocks the sunlight from getting through to the earth. The particles reflect the sunlight. Now what this means is the earth gets colder because less sunshine can get into the atmosphere. Now a famous example of this was the volcano Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines. In 1991 it erupted and it made the whole world 1 degree centigrade colder for 2 years. And this is because it put 20 million tons of ash into the atmosphere. The second reason that temperatures change over the years is because of sunspots. Now the sun gets little dark spots on it. Now these spots are caused by magnetic storms and they last for about 11 years. And here is the sort of magic to this. If the sun has spots like this, it increases the amount of energy that the sun gives out. So actually, when the sun has spots, the sun is more powerful than normal. Our third reason why temperatures change is due to a scientist called Milankovitch, and he looked at how the Earth moves around the sun. Now, every 100,000 years, imagine this is the Earth moves around the sun and it changes from a circular orbit, like so, to more of an elliptical orbit like that, which is more egg-shaped. And then over the 100,000 years it slowly moves back to the circular orbit. Now during the egg-shaped orbit it is actually closer to the sun on average, and so that makes the Earth warmer. And during the circular orbit the Earth is actually further away from the sun, and this makes the Earth colder. Scientists have matched this up with the ice ages, the glacials and the interglacials that have occurred and happened to the world. So it moves from a circular shape to an elliptical shape. So here is a picture to summarise, and the proper name for this change in the way that the Earth moves around the sun is called eccentricity. Because over 100,000 years move from this circle to this egg shape. The other thing the Earth does is as it moves around the sun it tilts at a different angle, and the angle that the Earth tilts in relation to the sun changes over a period of about 41,000 years. The amount of tilt that the Earth has affects which parts of the Earth receive the most amount of sunlight, and it can also affect the seasons that we have. As well as tilting, the Earth wobbles as it moves around the sun, and the degree of wobble, the amount of wobble, changes every 23,000 years. Those are Milankovitch cycles. So here is a summary of the reasons for climate change. Volcanoes make the world colder because their dust and ash and sulfur dioxide block out the sunlight, and there is an example. The sunspots, they make the world warmer because the Earth receives more radiation. So there are fewer sunspots in the Little Ice Age of 1300 to 1870, which corresponds with it being colder. Finally, we've got these Milankovitch cycles. Milankovitch cycles are just the way that the Earth moves around the sun. If it moves in an egg shape, the Earth is warmer. If the Earth wobbles as it moves around the sun, it can give cooler and shorter summers. And then the angle that the Earth is to the sun can change, and this affects which part of the Earth receives more or less sunlight.